So I haven't left yet. I had an experience last night, and I wrote about a woman and a man that I met here, a couple. So of course almost everything starts out as Marshall. Marshall, so New Orleans is never going to be a place I can be absent too long from. My phone is overheating. Yeah, so when I first came in here, it sounded like climatic activity, sirens, and heavy traffic. After I left YouTube, conversed for actual spoken terms, towing time. Then I came back in here and I wrote, starting with darkening the letters of the yellow legal pad. Mr. Constance felt much more than bearable on most cells. I, however, felt beginning with describing my math would alleviate the immense pressure they felt. During pause, I just assured him that there was not an urgency, and I have made an allowance for, and that no waste or mismanagement of his concern being labored would occur. Not all men are men of action, nor a man outside of that description subject to its opposite as descript. Addressing such sincerity is a pleasure not exactable, and an honor shown most brightly in an attributable presence. I accept responsibility as my presence, as the presence that incited such opportunity for care, and I am overjoyed that their marriage was able to experience such extreme. Let me embellish. Today I verbalized a rich truth that secured a victory, one only the husband knew to be true, and though attempts on his part were consistently staged, his acceptance. I'm busy. Though attempts on his part were consistently staged, his acceptance that he will observe her when and if she is ever positioned to see her value. She, in the early stages of their relationship, convinced him that he was more than what he was. So he became the most of what she asked of him, and he could be. That transgression of his surrendered self-worth laid in wait for a long time, that he could avenge the self he denied at her behest. She deserved other than he, better than he, but there was no convincing her of that. She wanted him and no other. Once he reconciled what he wasn't to see in himself, he should have lost the ability to see in her, as a consequence of believing in a manner not whole. To her, he was handsome, and his physique complementary to hers. His masculinity was intoxicating, and left her disoriented and disarmed in hourly succession. He ensured she felt pretty, and that she had the time and material and strength to apply what pretty and society's culture influences dictate. There was no relenting in the awe she inflicted on him. Her beauty was violent and constant, and he was defenseless, which would, if not for her intellect and talent, been manageable. But they were too vicious, berating, and ceaseless. He couldn't tell her he felt any way she wasn't, but he couldn't prove it to anyone else either. So a lie he lived developed into a truth he saw. She is more than she is, rooted, and I am not what I can be, took flight. He could have been more employed. He could have been more physically active. He could have said more when he was asked his opinion. He wasn't sick, but he wasn't well either. Her side was the only place that he felt okay, available for her no matter what, because she was more than she could be, brighter than those closest could see, more operative in laborial construction than infrastructure or utility. He feared, like she had, what if he is my one true Lord? What if he is my destiny and my fate? What if she is that powerful a doing for this at doing for this business what she did for our home. What if she, and he halts. I will be there, everywhere, every time, and someone will see, someone will notice what I know. She is more than she is. She is beautiful and she is rare. To him, mine means something different. She made him hers, and he will define mine without personal gratification. And today, I avenged them. I avenged them both. I told her what she was, a leader, a savior, and an unsung hero. Her acceptance and treatment of the neighborhood kids observably set her business apart. She didn't break any rules, but she didn't impose any she didn't have to either. She believed something many did not. And today I told her something she couldn't have otherwise known. Homeless means local. Tourists feel safe around homeless. She felt she needed to make excuses for those that she loved. She felt she was only doing her duty, but really she was doing what duty cannot, sustaining, nourishing, and living. Looking different, looking youthful and black, looking tidy and well-mannered, and looking welcome to return. Her restaurant is that which has not turned a profit. Her and her expertise in running a household kept it with subsidy target. If it can run itself, we will pay. He watches and hopes to be there when she can no longer deny she was the best mom, she was the best friend, and she is more. He wanted her to feel it. You bore my children and assumed an expense, and I want to prove it was a large expense. He wanted to prove undeniably that she could have done anything with her life. There is no stature, no financial or social medium that she could not have functioned in. Where she was belonging, the White House, the Empire State Building, the motherfucking prairie. Where she is, she shines. She elates. She nourishes. She chose him. He had very little say, but no one will say that she settled. She is exactly what she was. Strong, beautiful, black, a woman faithful and courageous, married happily and permanently. To Mr. and Mrs. Constance, the Black American Dream. He is a Buffalo Soldier. He is a man that doesn't fall in the classic category of attractive, and grew up in a country where attractive needed to be granted. These are dangerous things that I've talked about today. But dangerous is what it takes. My name is Americana Tomahonda. I waged a war on love.